There's a little talent you may not know about Katie. She's got a set of pipes on her.
Miss Mary Mac, all dressed in black with silver buttons.
I mean, somebody thinks so.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Now, back to the show.
Like the sandstorm music. Welcome back. Happy to have you with us this afternoon. Lovely day here in Southwest Louisiana, celebrating 100 days of Pope Leo XIV, who is following in the footsteps of Pope Francis, but also charting his own course and really in a beautiful way, showing us who he is, his personality, his style, his excitement, his joy. In a recently released interview with his brother John up in Chicago, John shared how the Holy Father is praying. He's being very intentional in his time of prayer, praying for the world, praying for peace, praying, of course, for a renewal of Catholicism in our culture and in this moment. And I'm struck by the fact that when you take a vacation, you take a pilgrimage, you head to the Holy Land, you head to Rome, you go on a trip. Gus Lloyd next week is going to be on pilgrimage with a number of wonderful people. You know, every now and then I think to myself, there's a few places on planet Earth where I can pray best of all. Pilgrimages certainly usually help with that, but there's a handful of places where I can pray because the presence of God is so evident. The presence of the saints is so obvious. And one of those places is Assisi. It's one of my favorite places on planet Earth. When my family goes to Rome in December, we plan on spending a few nights in Assisi just to escape the city and have some time of quiet and reflection. And I know a lot of folks who listen to the show, who listen to the channel, who are headed on pilgrimage themselves. They'll head up to Assisi to go visit the grave of St. Francis, to go visit the grave of St. Clare of Assisi. We celebrated her at the beginning of the week. To celebrate and, of course, pray at the tomb of the newly, or soon to be, I should say, St. Carlo. Here to tell us about the English Mass community and English Masses offered in Assisi. So, hey, English speakers, this is where you should go, is Gwen Wiseman. I met Gwen very briefly in Rome at the end of July, and I was so sad that I couldn't chat with her more. But hey, she's here on the show. We can talk now. Gwen, welcome to the Katie McGrady Show.
Hi, Katie. Yes, thank you so much for inviting me along. This is a real treat for me. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. Tell us about this incredible English Mass in Assisi. You have a website. You'll have a mission. Who are you guys? What are you all about?
Well, do you mind if I tell you a little story about how it all
Please
started?
do.
Is that all right?
Please do.
Yeah. So you can tell from my voice, I'm British, and I moved to Assisi 7 years ago. And one of the very, very first things that I looked for was a mass in English, and I found it there. You know, in the small print on the Basilica website, it's there, but there wasn't anything kind of available like online to know anything about it. So anyway, I went along. And it was December. It was very quiet. We were in a back chapel in the convent of the Basilica, and there were 4 people at the mass. And it was lovely. It was beautiful. And there was no music. That's okay. You know, it was very intimate. It was lovely. And but anyway, you know, I started to continue to go to that mass. But you know, I was a music director in my parish in England. And we had guitars and flutes and violins and 10-piece choir, and it was fabulous. And I was kind of just itching to say, oh, you know, do you need some help? But then at the same time, I was like, I can't do this. This is not me. Who am I? This is a papal basilica. I'm no one. I'm like, you know, I can't do this. This is not me. You know, there's a papal basilica. It needs to be grand with, you know, the big organ and everything else. And there's me, just a humble singer and a guitar. So I was like, but, you know, for 3 months, I started learning and reading and understanding more about St. Francis and about the humility of Francis and about how he stripped of his life, he stripped of his wealth, and he stripped off his pride to follow Christ. And so then then that humility entered into me, and I'm like, okay, in my humbleness, I'm going to offer my gift. And I went to the priest and I said to him, do you need some help? I have a guitar and I can sing a little bit. Would you like some help? And he was like, you've been coming to this mass for 3 months and you didn't tell me you had a guitar.
I love it.
So basically that was the start of this English community gathering at this mass. And the mass has become a magnet for English-speaking people that live in and around Assisi, because it is really it's the only English mass in all of Umbria.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. You know, in Rome there are maybe 7 churches that offer a mass in English, which is amazing. But in Assisi, in the whole of Umbria, it's really just Assisi, and it's 1 mass a week. But that's changed recently. So over the last few years, it's grown, and so it's attracted more and more people. We now have a team of people that are involved in the liturgy of the English Mass. We've got readers. We've got people writing the bidding prayers, the prayers of the faithful. We've got Eucharistic ministers. We have a growing and beautiful music ministry now. We have a guy called Josh he plays the piano. He's a concert pianist, and just to go to the Basilica to hear him play the piano or the organ is a treat in itself. And then we have another lady, Heather, and she's in charge of all the social media. And so as a team, this is a really beautiful ministry now, the English Mass, and the only thing is that it's only on a Sunday. So we're still working on that to get more English Masses in Assisi, but we now have a Mass in both of the basilicas, so the Basilica of St. Francis of Assisi and also at the Basilica of Santa Maria down in the valley.
Wow,
so, yes,
wow.
It's a beautiful ministry, yeah.
I mean, I love that this is being provided, because it's like you said, you know, people will go and they will look around and be like, wait, can I go to Mass in my own language? It's beautiful to go to Mass in any language, and especially when you're in Italy, you kind of assume you're going to find it in Italian. But when you find it in English, it's like this little wink from heaven, like, hey, you understand what's going on, you get to participate. So Gwen, where can folks find out more? What's the website? What can they follow on social media? And then when they are planning their pilgrimages or they're taking the time to head that way, especially to go visit the grave of Blessed Carlo, where can people find out more?
Oh, yes, absolutely. So we've, like I said, we've got a team working on the social media. So our handle is English Mass in Assisi, all one word. And we are on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And we video and film the masses, so they're all available online, especially on YouTube. And then I'm involved with doing a video series on Carlo Acutis. So we're now in the final countdown.
Yeah, we'll share all of that on social media, to be sure, so that folks can go find it in anticipation of Carlo's canonization in just a few short weeks. Hey, we're going to take a quick break and then come on back. We're so happy to have you with us right here on the Catholic Channel on SiriusXM channel 129.
You're listening to the Catholic Channel, SiriusXM 129.